Alright, in this example what we're going to do is look at MODx-getResources. MODx-getResources is probably the plugin that I use by far, the most used snippet I use in MODx on all my websites. I don't think there's ever been a time I've installed a MODx website on Revo without using getResources. In MODx Evo it's called Ditto. getResources is different, but in a sense kind of very similar, but way more flexible, and you can do a lot more really cool stuff with it. So the way you use getResources is we'll start off with a simple example. On this particular website on the home page, I've got different solutions, 4 of them listed here. We've got, you know, these little icons, some introduction text, and a read more link. So there's kind of like 3 variables that we've got going on here, and basically all these are just, you know, their list. Well, let's actually look at the HTML code here real quick. Yeah, these are just list with an image, intro text, and a link. Pretty simple, right? So let's go ahead and look in our tree structure at MODx. When we log in, we've got a container already called solutions, and I've already got the 4 different options listed here that we also see on the front of the website. And again, please don't think getResources is restricted to just something small like this. You can use it to create blog posts, galleries, all kinds of crazy stuff, whatever you want. And we'll expand this out into a little bigger, better example at the end of this tutorial. So let's just go ahead and start with this basic premise of, hey, I want to build a loop through these, or rather through the MODx tree, output these titles, and a link over to the page. Well, so to begin with, let's go ahead and open up Create Web Page, and I'm going to grab, let's see, it's right here, quickly and easily create a web page. Just going to copy that content in summary intro text, and you'll also notice, of course, that there's an image. Well, what I'm going to do is I'll create a new template variable for this particular page where I can upload an image. So how do I do that? Just come over to Elements, and we've got a template variable called images, image01. Let's go ahead and open that up. Now we're using the solutions template. So let's go ahead and look over here, template access, and we'll assign that to solutions. So now it should show up there. Okay, so let's just go ahead and refresh this real quick. And sure enough, we now have a template variable called images. Okay, so let's go ahead and assign the first template variable to this one right here, create web page, which again corresponds to this right here. So we want the little mouse and the tablet, whatever we got going on there. So I'll click here, and we've got this directory called client files where the image is, and it's right there. So I'm going to go ahead and double click on it. So now assign that image to that template variable. Let's go ahead and save that. Okay, and let's just do the other 3 real quick. So we'll go to Share Documents. Scroll down and go to Assets, Client Files, and let's see, on this one, Share Documents, which is the one we're working on, obviously, right there. And let's go ahead and grab that introduction text right there. Save that. The next one is the customer support. So let's come over here. And this one, real quick, you'll see there's no template variable down here. So what happened? Apparently we had assigned, or rather did not assign, the right template variable, or rather template to it. So we'll go ahead and update this real quick to solutions. Let's scroll back down. We'll grab that globe off the client files, that image. There it is. And then let's see, we'll grab the text, the introduction text. It's 24/7 real person support. And then the management tools. Let's come over here. Online account management tools, and we've got the picture of the disk here. So we'll go ahead and paste that in there. And again, this one, let's update this template real quick. Was it set up correctly? And let's scroll down. We'll go ahead and grab that in the client files. Okay, so I think we have enough to start with. Let me just make sure that solutions real quick is the correct, and it is, yeah, solutions. Okay. So now what do we do? Well, first of all, let's grab the code that's being used in this here. It's a list with an image, p tag, and the links. So I'm just going to go ahead and copy HTML. And I'm going to come over here and create a new chunk. And we're going to just call it solutions, TPL. And there is already a chunk named solutions being used for other things, so let's just go ahead to keep kind of a little more organized. I'll create a new category and I'll call it solutions. And again, this is, do whatever you want. MODx is very, you can change it in any way you want, but for me this works. It's a small website. So I'm going to go ahead and create a new chunk, and we'll call this one solutions list TPL. You don't have to put the TPL, I just old habit do that. So let's go ahead and drop in the HTML code here that's being used on all of these. And okay, so the first thing we'll do is we'll populate the, we'll put in the template variable. Now, this is important. When in MODx, when you're using in the chunks, whenever you're using GetResources, you do not use asterisk. Use the plus sign, and you also have to tell MODx, hey, this is a template variable, so you put TV period. So you have to do that on template variables. Now, on simple placeholders like the link ID, rather the link to that resource, you can again use the same syntax, the ID, but you don't have to put a template variable because it's not a template variable. And then we'll put the intro text placeholder right here. So we'll call that intro text. So in theory, everything should work. We've got the template variable, the ID to the page, read more when someone can click to go to that page, and the intro text. And we'll grab that text that we assigned to each page. We'll go ahead and save this. And so we've now got a solutions list TPL. Okay, so let's come over to our template. And again, this is on the home page, and let's scroll over here and find where that's at. It should be, and here it is right here. It says code. So what we'll want to do is replace this, and again, let's just double check because I can't remember 100% of that. This is the template I grabbed, so let me just make sure this is the right one. So let's see. Actually, it's not. I'm glad I double checked. So, actually, we already assigned it to a chunk named solutions. Now remember why we use solutions, this particular little listing here. We've used it a lot on the website. So we just went ahead and assigned it to a chunk. So fortunately, I've already got a chunk that I've established here in a file on the server that we can open up called solutions. And let's wait for that to open up real quick. Okay, so here it is. So we have a conditional statement because on some pages the title of solutions does not show up. Sometimes it does. So we just wrote this conditional if statement. Now here's a loop of, these images with the text that shows up that we're going to kind of loop through the parent tree, this resource, and we're going to loop through and grab all of these children resources and output them. Okay, so let's come over here. I'm going to delete that. I'll call get resources, and then we'll say the TPL. And again, I would encourage you to read get resources. It will give you examples. Again, you can do some really cool tricked out stuff, but we'll just get you on a basic example here. So the name of the TPL, solutions list TPL, and we'll say the parents. And what we're doing is we're saying, hey, grab all of the children of this parent, which is 4. And we'll say and sort by menu index. And again, you can read all the different parameter options on the resources tutorial there that the get resources rather documentation. And we'll say and sort, the direction will be, we'll put ASC. Okay, so I believe we have enough in MODx. I think the limit by default that it will output of the children, let's see, is 5. So you may want to bump it up, because by default it will only return 5 children, but you may want more, 10, 20, so you need to specify that there. Now, one other thing I didn't put that we'll have to put is by default resources, get resources does not check for template variables. I'm assuming they did that just to speed up the process. So what we'll do is we'll say include TVs equals 1, which we're saying, yeah, well, please include those, the template variables. And let's just make sure that's the right include TVs, yeah. Sometimes if you have content that you want to show up, you have to specify that as well. So again, just look through here at these different properties and you'll see kind of how they set that up. So reading again, we've established what the HTML output will be, who the parents are, how we're going to sort it in the direction, and include template variables. So hopefully this should work, fingers crossed. So if we come back over and we go to site, we go to clear cache, because again, we're just updated a file on the server and we want to just update the database to let them know, hey, just made a change. So let's come over here, see if this works. And it looks like it did. It's pretty much, yeah, if you look here, you hover over read more, for example, you'll see that the link to the page showing up at the very bottom. Let's change the sorting direction order to, let's reverse it. Yeah, so see they flip around. So you may say, hey, I want it when someone can click on the image for them to be able to go to that page. Well, pretty easy. Again, if we come back over here to solutions list, we can just copy this right here. So if we refresh and then again you hover over the image, you'll now see it's a link. So hopefully this makes sense to you. Again, you can use this in so many different ways. Create blogs, galleries, different things, but this is a way you list through. Now, you can also use get resources to specify just, hey, I want to grab the content from just one of these pages. Say I only want it from hosting. I don't want it from all of the different children of a particular parent. So all you would do is in that case, if we want to grab from hosting, since it has an ID of 3, you would come over here and you would say and resources equals 3. Obviously you would need to sort by and all these. You could still include template variables and stuff like that. So you can change it up to just grab from one page or from all the children of a parent. So I hope that makes sense. It gives you a good overview of get resources. Hopefully I'll get you on your way.